Yeah, I would tell investors to invest in stocks. They're liquid. They're some of the best companies in the world. And what you got to do is find 20 to 30 market leading companies. Don't speculate on the number two or some company, starting to dominate a market unless you really, really, really know they're going to. You should just always invest in the number one and let that company compound over decades. Investing in venture is extremely high risk, and that typically means losing all of your money. And I wouldn't recommend people investing in venture. Only people that have maybe sold a tech company should invest in venture.
Why do you think that? Is that because they know how those type of companies work?
Well, the average venture capitalist doesn't even beat the S&P 500. So if they can't beat the S&P 500, why would you want to try to play in that asset class? Sure, you can hit the lucky lotto ticket and have huge returns, but is that repeatable? How often have you met an early stage founder when they're raising?
Right. So if the investors don't beat the S&P, the average investor don't beat the S&P, then why would investors invest in startups?
Well, I think a lot of investors in startups want to see what's coming. And if you have enough money, you can make money in venture capital, but you need to be able to place enough bets to get one that's a unicorn or one that goes IPO. A lot of people don't have enough money to make enough bets. And, they put all their money into the first 20 bets that they find, and then they get into a lot of trouble. So there's plenty of tech companies in the public markets that are making real revenue. I would point investors to publicly traded markets because they're just a lot safer than startups. If something happens, they're liquid, you can get out and you won't suffer a complete loss. And I think there's lots of tech hedge funds, and those tech hedge funds typically do better than some of the best VC funds. The very, very, very best VC funds, nobody can do better. But those are extraordinarily rare, and it's not something you're likely to get into.